to our beautiful hometown of Bathurst. We're heading to the St. John River Valley today. Glenn, what are we up to?
Well, first of all, you're going to visit Canada's oldest incorporated city, which is St. John. You're going to go to Martello Tower and you're going to visit the Irving Park there. I'm going to visit Grand Falls, Edmundston, and I'm also going to visit the Fredericton area, King's Landing. We're going to take a trip back into past, into the Loyalist heritage of the area. It's a great place. I've never been there before. I've heard lots about it. I think we're going to have an interesting adventure on this episode, so you got to check it out.
New Brunswick is more than 28,000 square miles in size, and the best way to see the wonders of this province is by driving the 5 scenic routes. Each scenic route has a color-coordinated sign. You can follow the River Valley Scenic Drive from the town of Sussex to the New Brunswick-Quebec border near the city of Edmundston.
At 613 kilometers, the St. John River is New Brunswick's longest river. It flows through the state of Maine and enters New Brunswick near the town of Grand Falls, ending its journey at the Bay of Fundy. The St. John River Valley encompasses 13 municipalities, including the province's capital city. Fredericton was founded by United Empire Loyalists who fled the United States after the American Revolution, and around every corner of this city you can find these historical links. Here you'll find Victorian architecture, fine galleries, museums, riverfront trails, award-winning festivals, and a whole lot more. Glenn is visiting King's Landing. Let's see what he's up to.
Nice as apple pie, she'll get her own lad by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell her ma till she gets home. Let them all come as they will, Albert Mooney she loves still. I'll tell me ma when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair and they stole my coat.
The historical settlements of King's Landing represent the Loyalist and Victoria eras between the years 1780 and 1910. The interpreters at the settlement present more than just history. They present it well told.
Folks, this is Michelle at the King's Landing near Fredericton. Great job, Michelle.
Thank you very much.
You must be really busy playing and doing a lot of this music all summer long here in King's Landing.
Love it.
I was going to say you must be really old, but that wouldn't go very well, would it?
Well, this is 1855.
Wow.
So I sleep in a pickle jar most every night.
Really?
Yes,
wow,
it just keeps me well preserved.
Definitely using your Noxzema. Now,
Thank
I'm
you.
seeing something going on here over here. We're going to go check this out. This is horsepower. Well,
A single horsepower, and you can see how we cut our wood right over here, and it's happening in progress as we speak.
a lot of horses around here. Beautiful place. This is my first time here, being from New Brunswick. It truly is a gem. I've heard lots about it. You have to be careful. Lots of horses. Let's go check this out and see what we got. 1 horsepower cutting logs and stuff.
Get up there, bud.
So this is pretty neat, folks. And you hear it's fairly loud. I got to stand back here. Peter Dickinson, interpretation manager. Gonna have to yell here. We're cutting wood the old style.
Right?
So we got 1 horsepower. Explain to us what's happening here.
The horse, this is essentially a 19th century workout for the horse. He's on a treadmill, which is turning these belts, which in turn, as you can see, the wheels makes the saw go. I'm controlling the height of the saw with my left hand, and that's in fact what's controlling the speed of the horse. If I push down too far on this, he'll slow way down because he has to push that much harder to make it work. So I take a little bit of weight off the blade, and then he sees he has to step up to keep up to the treadmill. He has no choice but to keep walking.
All you need is a little bit of hay and a good horse to keep yourself cutting wood all day.
That's right. And we would be at it all day. These these houses burn wood, of course, 12 months of the year, unlike what we're used to these days. So a house needs a good 10 or 15 cord, if not more, to get through the year. And once we get it all cut, that young fella has to split it all.
You'll be busy today. Good for him. He looks like a strapping young fella.
Yeah, he can handle it.
Well, this is the way to get around King's Landing. 2 ox power. No gas, environmentally friendly. That's bright, like bright light, and line, like the roar. They're both 5 years old, 2 big bulls. Strong, strong. And they're not brothers, but they're pretty much the same age, only separated by a month at birth. And this is his job to keep these guys nice and shiny. I just hope he doesn't fart. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Right. Back off with the... Right. Whoa. Right, stinky. But it was a clean poop. It was very clean.
As my adventure continues at King's Landing, Robin is downstream, where the St. John River meets the saltwater and its journey comes to an end.
Welcome to the oldest incorporated city in Canada, St. John, New Brunswick, where there is an array of activities and adventures to take in around this historical southern part of the province. I'm heading into the city farmers market to do me some shopping. The market is open year-round and offers shoppers a wide variety of goods, including an assortment of fresh seafood from the Bay of Fundy. Where is this?
That's St. Martin's.
Established in 1867, the City Market is the oldest continuing farmers market in Canada and a must-see when visiting St. John. St. John was incorporated in 1785, and throughout its history, the city has seen many battles fought on its doorstep. Standing guard over the city is a reminder of some of those battles. This is the Carleton Martello Tower, which is where my adventure continues.
This is a carronade.
Still to come on the New Brunswick Adventures.
I don't even want to stick my hand in there because turkeys scare me a bit. Got a turkey fear. Okay, you have a good time. Grab me another dozen of them, buddy.
Yep.
Welcome back to the New Brunswick Adventures. We are visiting the St. John River Valley. My adventure continues at King's Landing Historical Settlement.
So this is the King's Head Bar.
Yes, this is our inn and tap room.
So what kind of brew do we have here?
Well, we have the Simeon Jones River Valley Amber Ale, which is made by Picaroons, a microbrewery in Fredericton, and made especially for King's Landing, based on a recipe from the 19th century by Simeon Jones, who was a brewer in St. John at the time. And we have his family home here at King's Landing, too.
Oh, really?
Why don't you try a pint of our Simeon Jones? I've got to go for a few minutes, but I'll come back. You enjoy that while I'm gone, okay?
Okay, you have a good time. Grab me another dozen of them, buddy.
Yep.
Standing guard over the city of St. John is the Carleton Martello Tower National Historic Site. The tower was built during the War of 1812, a conflict that resulted from strained relations between Great Britain and the United States.
Looking at the view, you can see why they would have picked this area to build the Martello Tower.
This was obviously the barracks? Is this what this
Yes. The entrance to the tower is on the second level. At the time, there would have been ladders outside, and you enter the barracks level. So this is essentially the living quarters of the soldiers. Although the tower was built during the War of 1812, what we see depicted here is a later period, which is the 1860s, when there was another threat. Each regiment had a number. It was a regiment of the line. This was the 15th regiment. So that's why you see the number 15 everywhere.
And what's this large piece of artillery? What would this have been used for?
This is a carronade, and this one in particular is called a 24-pounder. So the cannonballs in this 24-pounder carronade would have been 24-pound. And this particular gun is pointing towards the western approach of the town. And that's why the tower was built where it is, to defend that approach. They were feeling that the western approach, the land approach of the town was a bit more at risk than other places in town. So many people think actually, in fact, that Martello Tower was here to defend the Bay of Fundy. But you have to think about, go back in time in 1812, guns and artillery was not as powerful as it became even like 20 or 30 years later. So the guns at the time would not have been able to fire into the water. It was just too far away. So this is what we were hoping to defend.
Hey Glenn, sorry I took so long.
No problem at all. Ready to rock?
I am. There's lots more to see. Why don't you come with me?
Okay.
Still to come. Our adventure around the St. John River Valley continues.
Welcome back to the New Brunswick Adventures, and we are visiting the St. John River Valley. My adventure continues at the King's Landing Historical Settlement.
So Krista, this is the mill.
It is. This is our 1830 sawmill. Very important in the 19th century. There was a lot of lumbering in New Brunswick at this time. So there would have been many, many sawmills up and down along the river and along streams. And they're along the streams because they're powered by water.
And there's people that are working in there, obviously.
The sawyers are right there, yes.
Well, can you go chat with them or someone
We
inside?
sure can. They can show you what they're up to in there.
Cool, let's do it. So here we are in the mill, and we're with Claude Sawyer. Nice to meet you.
Good day.
So what are you doing here? You're doing something very special?
Right now we're putting a log on the carriage. So just put it back on the carriage right now. So this is the first thing. Usually we don't see that too much. I'm gonna go help him right now a little bit, so.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna bug you anymore. It looks like a kind of a dangerous job, so I'll let you do your work. I'm gonna stand back.
Right now, Claude has his saw running at a speed of 30 strokes a minute. And at this rate, it will take him a half an hour or less to cut one slice from this log. In 1836, if you could imagine, cutting would have been done in the spring. The reason being is that the water level was much higher at this time of year, which would have made the water wheel move much faster. At that rate, the saw would cut 150 strokes a minute. In the summer, the St. John River would have been too low and a sawmill like this one would not even be active. And in those days, you were probably not just a sawmill worker, you were also a farmer and would have had to tend to your livestock and land in the off-season. Let's head back downstream to St. John, where Robin is visiting the Martello Tower.
And is there special significance to this roof? It's really...
Oh, yes. Well, this, earlier I was mentioning about the door being on the second level when you enter the tower, so that was a way to defend the tower.
Right.
But also towers were meant, to protect against artillery fire. And so what we have here is the central pillar, and with the central pillar we have the vault ceiling, which was really meant to reinforce the roof structure. Because on the roof there would have been large cannons.
Okay.
And as you fire those cannons, of course, it creates a lot of vibration in the building, and so it had to be able to support the firing of the cannons.
Why don't you take me to the roof and show me what's up there?
All right.
The stairway to the top of the tower is narrow, to say the least. But as you make your way upstairs, with the breeze of the Bay of Fundy filling your lungs, you'll find an incredible view of St. John. It then becomes obvious how important this tower really was in defending the city. Aside from its history, St. John is abundant in natural beauty. You can experience various ecosystems at the Irving Nature Park, which is 600 acres in size. Here, you can explore the park by car, along vehicle trails, or hike as many as 8 walking trails, which pass along the alluring coastline of southern New Brunswick.
As Robin continues to visit St. John, I am about to learn an old school dance step at King's Landing.
Once you get to 16, you stop, form a circle, clap in place, and then we'll do the entire thing again. Ready?
You know, I really appreciated the opportunity of being able to dance with the folks at King's Landing. I'm pretty sure they'll never ask me to be part of their professional staff.
Well, that was a blast. I had never done that in a barn. I partied in a barn, but not like that, not dressed like that. I didn't even feel stupid. You know, this is one of the greatest drives in New Brunswick, the St. John River Valley. St. John River Valley is right here. You were at King's Landing. You sure have a great time. There's lots to see and do. We only touched the iceberg here, the tip of the iceberg, and what you can do here. So you got to come here. And how you doing, buddy? What's going on? Can I pet you? You're gonna like bite me or something. I need some hair. Just shed a little bit. Give me a little bit off the back end there.
Still to come on the New Brunswick Adventures, we head back upstream on the St. John River to the Grand Falls Gorge, and then we visit one of New Brunswick's biggest festivals in the city of Edmundston, the Fabreon. Stay tuned. Grand Falls is appropriately named so because of the waterfall which cascades down Rocky Rapids right in the center of town. The majestic St. John River rushes through the dam, drops 75 feet over the falls, and flows through the Grand Falls Gorge as it makes its way south to the Bay of Fundy. There are plenty of wooded trails you can walk to view this natural wonder. But to get a really good view of the Grand Falls Gorge, I suggest viewing it from the river, which is where I am off to now. The Grand Falls Gorge was crafted over 400 million years ago when an earthquake shook the rocks into a vertical position. But it wasn't until roughly 10,000 years ago when the glaciers melted and it ripped these rocks apart. And that is how the Grand Falls Gorge was created.
The cliff on your left, it's the highest one in the gorge. It's 250 feet high. There's three kinds of rocks in the gorge. The white is calcite, the gray is limestone, and the brown is sandstone.
This section of the St. John River runs right through the town of Grand Falls. The majority of flow of the St. John River through this area is diverted to an underground tunnel. This underground tunnel spans more than 1 kilometer long and was built in the 1800s. It is used to generate power for the New Brunswick Power Commission. It supplies electricity for the surrounding area and also the United States. North of Grand Falls, along the River Valley Scenic Drive, is the city of Edmundston and is home to one of the province's largest cultural festivals. The Fabreon takes place every year at the end of July.
Tell me a bit about the Festival of Fabreon.
Fabreon, it's the festival of the Breon, the Breons. It's about the Breon culture, which is basically a little bit of Acadian culture and the Quebecer culture mixed in with a little bit of American culture, and then you have the Breon. And that's the celebration of the Breons and the Breons.
In a little town like this place comes alive. I mean, there's people from all over the place that come here. You've got bands, activities for the kids. We've got sound checks going on in the back. Big concert tonight. Check out what's happening over here.
Very best.
Okay.
It's a pig.
So does everyone take vacation here at the Breon?
Most people take vacations, and one thing that's funny, the volunteers, most of them, they have 2 weeks vacation. They take one for Christmas, and they work one over here at the foire. Well, if you want the ultimate cultural taste over here, it's the ploy. You need to try the ploy.
Ploy, P-L-O-Y-E.
Y-E,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, let's go get a ploy.
You can either put some butter or not, and then you have the choice of Carleton. It's a processed meat, or you can either get some brown sugar.
This is part of the Breon culture?
This is part of the Breon culture. If you want a taste of the Breon culture, this is it.
Well, you're hearing some of the Breon culture. This is awesome. I gotta put the brown sugar on it. It's getting loud, and the party is starting here in Edmundston. You gotta come here, folks. Wicked time.
And when the sun goes down and the moon rises, the party's just starting in Edmundston.
Here Here we are, folks, the main stage of Fabrionne in Edmundston, New Brunswick. This is the place to come in August if you want to party. Good food, great times, great people. Thanks to all our organizers. We had a great time here. I'm going to check out the band for the rest of the night and have a good time here in Edmundston.
The St. John River Valley stretches roughly 400 kilometers and spans many different landscapes and is home to many New Brunswickers with different cultural backgrounds. To experience this diverse area of New Brunswick, follow the River Valley Scenic Drive, which stretches from the town of Sussex, passes through the cities of St. John and Fredericton, and ends at the city of Edmundston. Our close proximity to the province of Quebec and the state of Maine makes New Brunswick a very accessible destination. The St. John River Valley covers a lot of interesting territory. It actually flows through 12 communities, over 418 miles or 673 kilometers long, and is one of the only rivers that flow both in Canada and the United States. Fredericton, St. John, the whole river valley is full of different activities for the day adventurer. Full of history, culture, and scenery. You will not find more friendlier people than on the St. John River Valley. You're watching the New Brunswick Adventures, Canada's East Coast Experience.